Good evening, it's Norma Cowie here for Monday's Mental Mind Treatments. I thought I was going to be running late tonight, but actually, I still had to wait for several minutes before it was time to press that go live, which is usually a minute earlier. It just turned 7 now, so I always say I'm live at 7. Usually it's 6, 7, 6, what is it? Whatever, minute before, anyway. Oh my, what a day. you know, Excuse me. You know how just because I just had supper really just a moment ago, it seems, some days are a little like not exactly the way you expect them to be. And that was mine today. I had a client booked at 11 and I had slept in because I was out late last night and slept in, well, the night before and slept in. And, everything's cool. I'm all ready for 11. And then it turns out there was something that was going on in their world. Well, to make a long story short, I was fitting in some other personal appointments that I was doing. And so it just seemed like the afternoon was jam packed with one thing after the other. So I've been thinking, oh my goodness, I've got Monday night. And so anyway, here I am. Perhaps not as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as usual, but I'm here and I'm looking forward to this evening. And hopefully those who join can ask for mental mind treatments. I have my list of others, of course, because it's really nice. Anyway, it's always nice to have you here. It's always nice to come on and I do check to see how many views we get, because this is the kind of the other two have sort of stabilized, but this one is a little different, and I keep wondering how it's doing. Is it, because it's time and energy and effort, and I always want things to work really well, but I'm glad to be here. So I am going to start, first of all, of giving a treatment for myself. So this is for me, and that is, I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that the universal love force is with me always. I know it is up to me to connect with that force and allow that force to invigorate, inspire, and fill me with the lovingness that is there. As I know this, I know that the energy that is required at this time, the insight, the love, the concepts will be given to me with ease and grace. I know also that I am loved beyond measure, and therefore I reflect that love to all that I speak with or touch on or deal with. I give thanks also for my friends who are here to help me and give their support and their awareness and their beingness. I give truly thanks for knowing that I am truly in the right place at the right time, always within my work and within my life. And I release this thought knowing it is true, that whoever needs healing, whoever needs peace, whoever needs a sense of direction, that it would be easy and at one in my energy, and therefore others' energy will be in alignment and at peace and one. And I give thanks for this as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Oh, great. We have some people. Karen, first of all. Oh, yes, I was going to start off. I even have a note right in front of me. Happy Halloween. um, yes, happy Halloween. I hope you have I know a lot of people will be busy at the door with people coming for their candies. When I first came to Canada and I saw Halloween, I thought to me it was like begging. I couldn't believe it. But then, of course, I had children who couldn't wait to go around and get their Halloween candy, etc. And I had to be at the door handing candy out. And my whole conception changed. And I think that's how easy it is sometimes when we are raised in a certain parameter of thinking or being, and then it gives us an opportunity to change our perception, change our thought, change our awareness. So I hope you all have had a lovely day, even though mine's been a little bit crazy. And I also, but that would fit, right? Halloween. And then also too, that this evening will work out exactly the way it wants. So Karen, let's see what you've got here, dear. I would love a treatment for increasing my inner spark. Oh, inner spark. Yes. The delight of delights. Let's see what we get. Knowing there is one power and one essence, I can speak my word for Karen regarding her inner spark. See, I know the inner spark is in each and every one of us. And in the connection of Karen and her inner spark, it's like it is dulled, or has been dulled, I should say, by others not seeing her as she is, by having expectation of her to be a certain way. I know in the understanding of this that we clear all the old parameters of who I am, what I am, and where I am. And as Karen leaves these behind, as she moves into the true essence of herself, that spark of life that illuminates the being, that gives wonderful luminescence into our auras, into our thinking, into our awareness of who we are and what we are, that it just brings about such a delight of being. We are lights. And as our light shines, that spark that we call that inner spark shines brightly. And in that shining brightly, it's not about impressing. It's not about stating. It's not about anything except being. It is the being of all things, just to radiate that life of knowing. And once the knowing comes, it's as though everything fits into place. Don't have to prove anything. We don't have to be anybody. We just have to be who we truly are. And in that being of who we truly are, the inner spark gives such a delight and awareness and growth and patterning that Karen just radiates life, well-being, understanding, knowing who she is totally. And there is freedom. In the freedom comes delight. And in delight comes that even more inner spark of being. And so that cycle keeps on increasing and increasing until there is only love, light, a knowingness, and a being of who you truly are. I give thanks in knowing this for Karen. I give thanks in knowing that it is her truth. It is her awareness. It is her delight. And as I release this thought, I know that it is done. Her inner light shines so brightly that her spark is not ever questioned ever again. There is only one power and one essence. And Karen is connected. And the light moves out and forth unto the world. And I release this thought knowing it is true by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, Miss Karen, that's very nice. Okay. Thanks for the message back, Karen. I appreciate that. It always makes me feel good when it says yes, it works. I have to admit that's the smaller self of me that always likes to know, yeah, I'm on track. I'm doing okay here. Now I've got a list on my paper sheet. I'm just going to go through them, and then I will keep checking the notice board here and read when another person comes in. Kayla has already checked in as well. And so here we go for Miss Kayla. I know in the one power and the one essence that love is bright, is peaceful, is healing, and it is awareness. I also know that as the wrist begins to heal, that it becomes even more, and I'm on the wrong wrist, but okay. No, I don't know why I want to go to the right wrist, but I know it's the left wrist. It's what happens when it's your friends that come in and say, and you know what's going on there. Anyway, just to move back into the prayer element of this, it was to have healing on the wrist, but also for balance and awareness. And I think that's why I want to go to the right, is because this whole thing has to do with balance, has to do with an understanding of how not only does the mental and emotional need to be balanced, but also the awareness of the other side and this where we live in the material world. how everything balances out. That there is in this, we talk about the one power, the one light, the one essence, the one being, all that is, etc. But the realization that in that it is the whole world. It is just not the spirit world. It is the material world. And it is the balancing of these worlds that bring about the peacefulness, as they say, the peace that passes all understanding. As we move into that peace and let go of the worry of how things are supposed to look or how they are supposed to work in representing of the life, these healings of our bones, of our nervous system, of our essence, of our connection within all elements of who and what we are, because the prayer for Kayla is a prayer for us all, knowing that we are balanced. We are here on this planet. And that beautiful energy of love, as it represents within itself, takes away all worry. It takes away all concern. And time becomes negligible. It's not important because healing can be instantaneous. It can take place. Everything can move back into its proper place. It is within our subconscious of how the mind is restricted by time and place and awareness, and a lot of what we're being taught and shown that this is how it works and this is how it is. And so it is the letting go of other formulas that people have placed upon us. It's the letting go of that, well, this is how long it's going to take to heal. This is what has to happen now. This is what it brings. And as we come into balance with our spiritual and material world, we will find balance. All of us who have trouble sometimes with balance will find balance as we recognize that it is 100% of both that come together to make 100%. And so therefore, as I speak my word for Kayla, not only that her wrist being healed easily and completely and having balance in her world, it also touches into the far bigger balance of all things. Such a delight, such an awareness, and so thankful for my part too, as I give thanks for this, for I also have issues with my physical balance. And I give thanks. I give thanks in the awareness that, yes, it is the incorporation and not allowing what other people say is happening or being, that we give the power to. The power is in the love, knowing that all things are available. I give thanks in this knowing. I give thanks in the awareness. I give thanks for Kayla. And I give thanks for all of us in the world as we come to balance the beautiful energy with the physical world. And so it is. Amen. I also see that Marion says good evening to myself and all of us. Now, I know they're in the one power, in the one essence, that we're all connected as one. As we're all connected, I'm able to speak my word, and I can speak my word for Marion, that on Friday, when Marion is having a surgery, that everything goes well, that it is much easier than what is anticipated, that it moves with, it's almost like grace. It's almost with ease. Everything fits into place so easily. I give thanks in the knowing that the healing that will follow from this surgery will be easily handled. It will heal quickly and it will be done. And in the doingness of all this, there's freedom, light, love, and essence. And it has a sense of moving on as though this is the final hurdle. This final hurdle needs to be gotten over, and then everything is complete and it is done. I give thanks in knowing that the surgery will go well. I give thanks in knowing that it's a final hurdle for the larger, bigger picture of life. I give thanks in knowing that all is well. And I do this with gratitude and love, and I release this thought knowing it is true because it is done. And so it is. And so it is. Okay, let me go to my paper here. Remember, if you can't be live, if I get an email or a request, sometimes during the week, they're letting me know. But I need to have it by approximately around 6 o'clock. I check a little bit later than that because sometimes the mail takes longer to get through. But you just need to let me know during the week, and I can make sure, and then you can check back because I know by the number of views that we have that very often a lot of people either check back over and over, I'm not sure, and also by emails, people saying to me, oh, thank you so much. That was so very, very helpful. So I know that happens. But if you have a specific one, please let me know. And this one I have for Miss B. She's not on here, so I won't say her name, but it is a long time. It's a person I've known for a long, long time, and we've done a lot of work over the years. And now she is elderly and she's not doing very well, and especially around her eyes. And I think probably that's one of the most fearful things we have, that we are not going to be able to see. So let's see what comes up for my dear friend, Miss B. I know there is one power and one essence in all things. And I know that we're all connected to this power, which gives me the ability to be able to speak my word for Miss B at this point. I give thanks for so many things in Miss B's life that has happened and occurred, and how she has dealt with them and coped with them with ease and with grace. And now that we have a condition coming where her eyesight is failing and she is overwhelmed by the thought of this and what is going to happen. As is also incurring, while there's also less of mind power, etc., there is almost like a shutting down of the body, of the sense of who and what. And the key here is to find something of enthusiasm and awareness, and also knowing that often when the eyes do not see physically, the other inner eye opens up and sees the light and feels the vibrations and knows the awareness of all things. We are given these lives to experience. And in the experience of them, even though it's not always the way we want, and sometimes a little painful, it is the acceptance and the allowing of the inner self to grow, to embrace, that often miracles will occur. The miracle of seeing, perhaps not with a physical eye, but the inner eye. The miracle of being able to see the beautiful rays of light that come to our planet, the chorus of angels, hear the music of the spheres, hear the conversations of people around us, and hear the love and the concern and the awareness, and being able to separate those because we're not hindered by what our physical eyes see. Every step in life is a journey, and every step brings wonderment, enjoyment, and more awareness. I know for Miss B, I cannot say for eyes to see as they have, but I do see that the inner eye will open, that her inner knowing will open, that the fear which is there now, it will dissipate, and a sense of peace will descend. And in that sense of peace, there will become a delight in being aware on a whole different level than what she has done before. Therefore, I give thanks as I call upon helpers from the other side to come and support Miss B in her journey in these next coming months. And I give thanks of knowing that there are helpers to help people see the light that is there, always waiting with love, understanding, and forgiveness. And so we release this thought knowing that it will be done. And as it is done, there is freedom by saying, and so it is. Amen. I'm going to take a big breath on that one. um, and the next person is a Miss J, another person that had asked if I would do this. I know within that one power, with one delight of all things, for Miss J, is a time of understanding the bigger picture of life. We can be told about the bigger picture. We can have it explained. And yet sometimes the old programming is still strong. And therefore, as I move into the treatment aspect here, because I know that there is always a power for any person who wants it to ask for it, to understand that by letting in the love of the universe into you, it changes and works with the cells of your body, as well as many other areas that we have. And so, as I speak my word for Miss J, I know that by opening yourself up to the inner power, the inner light, the inner awareness, that you can claim your own power and that you can be accepted equally with anybody else. That no matter what friendship that you create, it's not about one being better than the other, even though the other people may be different. It is about you claiming your own personal power. And when you have that power connected to the light, the essence grows stronger and stronger because the lovingness of yourself becomes important and fulfilled. The key is to know that you are loved and that you are loved beyond measure. And even though when your heart breaks because of loss of people or seems like judgment from other people, it is the knowing that is their situation, not yours. That you're at one with the divine. You're at one with that beautiful spirit, whatever you want to call it, that loves you without beyond measure. Doesn't have any restriction. It just loves you. And it's though by in a way surrendering to that inner love, that inner concept that's there, then whatever anyone else thinks of you, what anyone else says about you, what any power trip is laid upon you, you can just smile and know that you are loved beyond measure and that you can claim your power in recognizing that they're not powerful. The others are not powerful. And so we release this thought with gratitude and knowing that you can claim your power with ease, with grace, because the loving energy is always 100% there with you in all that you do. And I give thanks in knowing this. I give thanks. It is important. And so it is. I want to talk about power for a moment. And I think I might have said this to here before. There are three kinds of power that we run into. There's power over, that's when a person tries to dictate to you as to how things are. There's power under, which is more when you begin to feel more victimized because somebody's trying to put everything over you. But what we need to be working with is power with. And that's how the universal love force works. It is there. It is there if you want it, if you maybe ask for it to come into you, to be with you. But it is always there. It does not ever say, this is what you do. It is there. And sometimes suggestions do come. I get suggestions in my head sometimes, and I sometimes ignore them because it's not what I want to do, just like a petulant child. But I've learned that when that does happen, it's usually important to listen. But I'm deviating a bit. When it comes to power, remember this. Are you doing power over, dictating, moving that kind of element? Or are you doing power under where, you don't have any power, the other person has it? Or are you doing power with? Allowing the other person to state their pain. You don't have to agree with it, but don't take it on. Don't take the energy on. Don't become a victim to whatever it is. Power with takes a little bit of work of understanding. But on that other level, power with the divine, power with the universal love force, power with however you want to call your God. If you empower power with it, then everything comes together with so much ease. And I always give thanks in knowing that because it's helped me many, many times. And I know that for Miss J, that will occur as well. And guess what? Our next one is another Miss J. Someone I was talking to, and I said, if you like, I'll give a treatment on Monday night. And they said, yes, please. This is about circumstances that happen sometimes when life does a change that when you've lived a certain way for a long time and then your life goes to change. Sometimes it feels like you can't feel or you're not really aware where your place is. It's like you're out of sync because you've been so used to like maybe pedaling I'm calling it pedaling because I'm seeing a bicycle. It's the same routine, the same route every day. And then all of a sudden you don't have that route. What do you do? How does it feel? What do you do? So we want to feel again in the expansion of things. So let's see. Knowing that there is one power and one essence in this world, I speak my word from Miss J. And as Miss J is changing a little direction in her life and the feeling of not feeling anything, being frozen, like not sure what she's feeling, not what's happening, I know that life will continue in a different way, in a different momentum. And so to be open to that momentum change, to be open to the flow of life coming from a different way. It's like when a river all of a sudden breaks through a bank or something, and it changes its direction. It goes in a different way. And everyone's looking at this going, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? It's doing this and it's going that. And it's really about relaxing and knowing all is well. It's like refinding your feet when something changes in your world. Maybe somebody has left. Maybe there's just some new opportunity come up and you have to leave that other opportunity that you've been working on for so long for this new one. And after you've made all the decisions, after you've gone through everything, and now we start the beginning, it's like we're in no man's land. And this is what the treatment is about, is to know that you will feel again as you find your feet in the new direction. But sometimes we have to also have a mental understanding of what's happening. Because if we don't have a mental understanding and then someone comes along and just prays for you to feel again and be at one again without understanding the process of change, this is about change. This is about letting go of a big part of your life. Willingly, yes, but you don't expect that in between place till you've fulfilled and brought the newness in that's coming next into your life. It feels like you're in a void and you don't feel. It's like what's happening? Where's my life going? I thought everything would be just fine now. But sometimes it takes a little time to change the pace. And therefore, really, this treatment is about strength and a willingness to know that all is in its right place. Personally, as over the years, I have done treatments for myself and others to be able to accept that everything is in its right place and its right time, and to let go all the worry and the concerns that go deep, 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 deep in the subconscious. You are loved. Life is working out what it is that you wanted. So flow with it, just like a tree that's fallen down into the river and the river takes it and flows it away. Eventually that tree will land somewhere. And who knows what happens? But that's called life. That's called the excitement of being. And I know that as Miss J moves further forward in her life, that the feeling of being involved and caught up in this new world that's being created will be sufficient and fulfilling and gives her everything that she wanted to do and what she did to do that. And so she's just in that in between, letting go and waiting for the newness to really kick in. I give thanks in knowing that the newness is kicking in. I give thanks in knowing that her life is becoming so full and so aware that it's just pure enjoyment and pure love and pure light. I give thanks for Miss J as she moves into her new world where she will feel and be at one again. And so it is. Amen. Sometimes I just get such a sweet feeling inside myself. That's why I like doing these nights. This is for a Miss D. Someone who has had a healing situation go on and go on and go on and go on and go on. And to the point she's kind of accepted, okay, this is how it is, but it's not as comfortable as it could be. And so again, once more, we move into that place of knowing there is one power and one essence. And as I speak my word for Miss D, I know that there is a possibility, an eventuality that her body will totally heal itself. I know the situation here, so I also know that sometimes some things just don't seem to come together and work together with ease. This time, it is ready. I feel that time is ready. It's ready for a bigger step. It's ready for a movement out and beyond in so many different ways. There is what is being totally healed anyway. It is a sense of knowing that everything is in its right place and you work with it as it is, which I know is happening. But it's that desire to be where everything is perfectly working. And I just feel here, you've had so much patience, Miss D, and I know this, but I feel just be patient for a little bit longer and allow that beautiful sense of humor that you have to come forward and begin to see how life again also will make changes. I give thanks in knowing the changes that are coming that bring about even more of that sense of humor that has held you and fed you and worked with you through this whole situation. I give thanks in knowing that you have that because it will bring about where you need to be. I give thanks in knowing this. I give thanks in knowing Miss D herself. I give thanks in knowing that all will be well. And I release this thought, knowing it is done, that healing has taken place. And so it is. Amen. How are we doing? Okay. Oh, hello, Laurie. She said, hello, Norma. Hello, hello, hello. Do you need or would like anything prayer? I've got a couple more to do. If you've got anything, please put it up. Just type it in so I know. Otherwise, thank you for being a supporter of the show. Thank you for signing in. That always makes my heart feel warm and thankful. I have definitely have friends that do that, and it's always nice when I see someone who's returning. While Laurie is deciding whether to write something, I'm doing this for a Mr. C, young person, actually, again. Now, I know in the power that is there, this lovely energy that is in all things, that the worry of money can sometimes drive the life in a direction that it doesn't need to go. But how does one create total faith? How does one come to believe that no matter what, the monies that are required for the next semester of education will be forthcoming in view of what's happening economically? Faith is something that we learn with time and experience. Sometimes people are born with it, I've noticed, but the majority of us have seemed to have learned because of life circumstances and things that life has brought about. Therefore, I am going to do a treatment for Mr. C that his fear of not having will dissipate. So here we go. Divine essence, Mother, Father, Son is one. I know as I speak my word for Mr. C that the essence of faith and trust can be brought forth through all the different systems, especially those in the subconscious mind, that A, there's not enough money, B, it's hard to get the money, and C is, what am I going to do if I don't have the money? What happens within that is once we begin those frameworks within ourselves, is that we begin to rationalize as to how we can get around it. It's a natural state. But when we are working with trust and faith, we move into a knowingness that situation will be taken care of. Opportunity will come. Things will open up. And so therefore, that in this treatment of being, all doubt needs to be cleared. All doubt, knowing that the mind can create all sorts of things. Yes, I'm not disputing that. But what I'm disputing here is that we need to have faith that more than enough money for the next semester of classes is there, is forthcoming, will show itself as to how it can be received and how. And yes, there is a sense of, okay, we can do this, that, and the other, but just know that you're on the path. And on that path, that by surrendering your fear, by letting go of the fear, the money will come, will show itself, will represent itself. You will know what to do to have that next semester. Because really, the money is just the vehicle to be in the next semester. You want to be in the next semester. That should be the goal, not the money. Money is the step. And allow that knowingness that you're sitting there in the next semester doing the work, doing that, because in order to be there, which is the goal, the money has to arrive. I give thanks in knowing that you are exactly where you want to be next semester. I give thanks in knowing that your faith and your trust is such that you concentrate on the goal of what you really want and allow the universe to bring you the means and the vehicle to get what you require. I give thanks and gratitude of knowing that this fact is the truth of being, and that if most of us had it, we would achieve our goals very easily. You can be where you want to be next semester by knowing that the divine is looking after you. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this thought, and I release all fear, all worry, all concern. And I move into faith and trust that the next semester is there and you're doing your work, because what is required has manifested for you. And in knowing this, I let it go by knowing all things are exactly as it needs to be. And so it is. Amen. Well, that's a good, nice listen there. Okay, Laurie says to me, I want to see with us your okay, what have you got here? She said she's okay. You know, one of the things of this writing, I wish I was a little bit bigger with my eyes, but anyway, I'm struggling with my gut, and it's got A, and then she comes back in and says, so ill for a few days. I don't know the reason it happened. Feeling better now. Is there a reason other than physical? Thank you in advance for that, for this, Norma. Okay, so we want clarity. What we're looking for is clarity as why the illness. Okay, thank you. I know there is one power and there is one essence, and that Laurie, who is requesting this treatment, and I are linked in the great design of love and light and beingness. So therefore, I speak my word for Laurie in knowing this illness that came. Is there, what was it saying? Is there a reason other than physical? There's a few questions I would have liked to ask if this was a private session, which I cannot do. It feels physical. It feels as though your body is trying to shake off something that is there. I also feel that there's been an air of, I don't know if it's exactly sadness, but it's down anyway. It's heavy. It's sitting heavy on me. And it doesn't feel in my heart. So I don't think it's sadness. I just think it's like a depression that's gone on probably for 3 months, off and on, kind of comes and goes. So that's a mental element, but it feels that the body does not feel totally at one with all that there is. It could be. And so actually, so the question really is it other than physical? I really don't know that it's other than physical. I think it is physical. I think there are things happening within your body that you're not aware of. I'm not getting any hint that it's because of how you think or how you be. I feel a depression, but I think that's being from the physical. And if this comes and goes, or if you can feel better for a while, then you get, not well again. I think it's very important that you check that out. If you want me to talk more about this, you can email me or phone me or message me. And I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you about that. But basically what I would like is just for you to know. So in the treatment is clarity, and it is like getting more, you need more information on the physical and the physicality of it all. And I give thanks for the clarity that's given to me of how much I can say on air. And so I'm going to release this by knowing we have done what we needed to do. And I truly, truly, truly thank you by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, I have one more left here, and that's my last one, I think, unless somebody else comes along. And this is just because I just wanted to do this. Knowing that there is one power in essence, I speak my word for James. And in speaking my word for James, I know that there is more in touch with feelings, with light, with love, experience of being, and to therefore bring a balance between the mental and the emotional, and allow the light to come forward in such a whole different way. I give thanks in knowing this, that there is balance, there is ease, and there is light. And so I release this thought with much gratitude of awareness that life continues no matter what. And so we give thanks by saying, and thank you, and so it is. Amen. Okay, people, we have had a nice night after a long day for me, and lots of things await. I really can't thank you enough for coming and writing these things here down, chatting with me on here. And for the people that have watched while I am live, and the people who rewatch again, as many people do, because I get emails. A lot of people who know me email or message or do other things. It's appreciated because I believe that we've forgotten the art of true prayer. I think that that's why I found this method years and years ago, back in the late 80s, actually coming into the 90s. I started studying this because I kept looking for a message of prayer that worked. It wasn't like I was pleading and being a victim to the power. I wanted to know, and this works. And it has worked for me for years and years. And my head says, yeah, but sometimes I didn't listen. Yes, that's true. I didn't always listen. But that's something that you learn over time. It's about that trust and faith that we talk about and what we do and work things. I thank you all. I think you have a great Halloween if you have people knocking at your door. And if not, no, tomorrow is November 1st. And I'm about you, but here it's definitely full. I have to really put my plants away. Boo hoo hoo. Okay, blessings. Thank you. Night for now. I'll be back on what day are we on Monday? Wednesday for Norma Talks. Bye.